It wasn't just a smash and grab, but a crash and grab here in Southern California.
Don't give me no phone, you know I'm a doggy.
A crew of 8 masked suspects storming inside, smashing the cases at Classic Jewelers in Anaheim Hills, tossing hundreds of thousands of dollars of jewelry into bags.
Call 911.
The terrified owner warning the thieves he had a gun, but the thieves then grabbing the weapon, taking off with the gun, and $750,000 in stolen jewels.
Man, 750,000, and took the store owner gun, bro.
Don't give me no phone, you know I'm a doggy.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about how a few members of Hoover just recently went down for a jewelry store heist. And just to name a few names, one of them would be Grinch, Nifty Bang, and Baby Shooter. And like we said, them and a few others would be accused of stealing over $800,000 worth of jewelry. But let's dive into it. And for those of you not familiar with Nifty Bang or Grinch, they would both be rappers, with Grinch being a more notable rapper, with a lot of people saying that Grinch might be one of the main faces out of the Hoover rappers right now, specifically the 5 Deuce Hoovers. But let's dive right into this case. On January 23rd of 2026, at about 2:30 in the afternoon, Anaheim police would receive a call of a commercial burglary happening at Classic Jewelers. And the people that worked at the jewelry store would tell officers that multiple suspects intentionally rammed a dark-colored Nissan SUV into the front of the business to gain entry and to steal jewelry. And the owner of the jewelry store would tell detectives that during the burglary, he would attempt to stop them by pulling out a firearm. That's when one of the suspects would take his firearm from him. And this right here would be footage from the jewelry store when the burglary occurred.
In there with the orange gloves on, bro. You see him, and then he come out the back with the gun. It's a trip. We was just watching this shit like.
We'll try to follow
that your girls?
best we can from our sky helicopter.
Hell yeah. Damn.
Feel me?
And as you just seen, after the burglary, the suspects would flee in 2 separate vehicles. And as you can see, one would be a silver and one would be a gray Dodge Charger. However, the Nissan SUV that they crashed into the front of the building, they would leave behind, and detectives would later determine that that was a stolen vehicle. But shortly after the heist, Anaheim police would observe one of the vehicles that matched the description. Officers...
They played it fake smart, though. Come with 2 gray vehicles or 2, you know what I'm talking about?
then begin to follow the vehicle, but they wouldn't initiate a traffic stop, nor did they put on the lights or sirens. They would follow the suspect's vehicle for a few blocks, but obviously they noticed that they were being followed, because at that time, they would approach Orange Thorpe Avenue, they would get into a multi-vehicle car crash, and the driver and 3 passengers would jump out the vehicle and flee. And the driver would be the first one to be apprehended, but shortly after searching the area, 3 of the additional suspects would be arrested also. But don't forget that they would still be looking for 1 other vehicle.
This one is the one we mentioned at Lemon and Orange Thorpe. And you see this one ended in a pretty nasty crash as well. Can't see any other vehicles involved. So this is the suspect vehicle, and it's not clear if there was 1 or 2 people that were the alleged suspects that were in this when they crashed. And again, overall, it was 4 different people that multiple law enforcement agencies in Orange County were looking for, and they have 3 out of 4 in custody.
In a short time after that crash, the Anaheim police helicopters would spot the second getaway vehicle. They wouldn't pursue the vehicle, but they would have the Anaheim helicopter following it. In a short time after being followed by the helicopter, that vehicle would be involved in another multi-vehicle car crash. Officers...
Both drivers ain't had no handles. You know what I'm talking about? I wonder if that would have made a difference though, you know?
Would then respond to the scene of the crash, and they would canvass the area. That's when they would find 2 individuals that they believed were involved in the burglary.
This is one of 2 different crash scenes. This one's off of Malvern and Euclid Avenue. Check this out here as we zoom in. We believe that this may have been, and well, it's not clear if this was a suspect's vehicle or an innocent person that was involved in this crash. I'll widen out and show you. Orange County Sheriff's deputies' helicopter is still overhead. They're still looking for 1 suspect. There were believed to be 4 people total in that heist that we showed you earlier, and 3 of them are in custody. So they have a perimeter set up in this area off of Malvern looking for 1 more person. The other scene was was off of Orangethorpe and Lemon, where we understand that that ended in a crash as well. You see an ambulance that's sitting here, but it's not clear if that's precautionary. Again, unknown number of injuries, but looking for one of the 4 remaining suspects here, one of 2 crash scenes here in Fullerton. Juan and Amy, back to you.
It's a trip too, because they was just in that DC vlog. DC was at a Hoover party or something, right? They was in there with a lot of chicken, bro, having it their way. So I get, I guess it's never enough.
And as you just heard them say, they would be looking for more suspects. And several hours later, 2 additional males would be arrested. And they would be located in the backyard of a separate residence that was nearby the collision. And in the second getaway vehicle that crashed the second time, they would find several jewelry store items, they would find a handgun, and they would also find several things that connected them to the crime. And at first, 8 people would be arrested for this crime, and 1 would actually get away, until a few days later, they would get a tip saying that somebody from Linwood was involved in this crime. And the video of his arrest actually just went viral, because people thought it was ICE apprehending somebody, but it was really detectives.
Hey, that's damn near red-handed though, bro. If they caught him with all that shit, and damn near, you know what I'm talking about, in the midst of the crime, they didn't get too far away. What you think they talking about for something like this, bro?
Apprehending a wanted suspect for the burglary.
A dramatic scene as a 17-year-old suspect attempts to carjack a vehicle before being punched and taken down. The tense arrest unfolding in Linwood on Friday. Angry witnesses moving in on the officers thinking they were ICE agents. But this was not an immigration detention. According to Anaheim police, it was the arrest of a wanted smash-and-grab suspect.
And the 8 people that would be arrested would be 24-year-old Jose Martinez, 23-year-old Leontre Gibson, 23-year-old DeAndre Jones, 20-year-old Tylen Brown, 20-year-old Kylan Tolles, 20-year-old Kamari Tolles, and 19-year-old Latrell Matthews. And they would be charged
What, they twins, bro? They done had some twins on a heist with them?
with 1 count of second-degree robbery with 3 enhancements on it. They would be charged for 1 count of vandalism, 3 counts of unlawful taking of a vehicle, and 3 counts of buying or receiving a stolen vehicle or equipment. And they would also be charged with 1 count of grand theft of a firearm. And they would also add an enhancement to that count. The jewelry store owner would say that they made out with about $1 million worth of gold and jewelry in addition to his gun. And as of right now, they would have no bail
Just had to throw that in there, bro. Like, yeah, they took my, you stole it too.
on this case, and they would be sitting in the Orange County Jail waiting for trial. Where, as you can see in this picture right here, everybody would be behind the cage except for Grinch Walk. He would be sitting in the wheelchair, which I think it's safe to assume he was probably one of the ones that was hurt in that car accident. And what's crazy is Grinch Walk was actually arrested last year in January for 2 counts of robbery out of Anaheim, where he would get a DA reject. As you can see, he was arrested on January 3rd of 2025 and January 4th of 2025. In just 4 months after getting that DA reject, he was arrested on a burglary count out of Los Angeles on May 2nd of 2025, where he would also get a DA reject. And as you can see, he was just arrested last month for having a loaded firearm on him on December 11th of 2025, which would be a month before he was arrested for this. But he would get a DA reject on this gun case also. And we're not putting no bad juju in the air when we're saying this, but don't forget that the state has 3 years to file a case after a DA reject if they have more evidence. So if they decide to pursue these cases, Grinch Walk could be facing even more time. But that right there is going to wrap it up for the story of Grinch Walk and the Hoover's $1 million jewelry heist. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. But comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all's respectable rants.
You say, don't give me that phone, you know I'm a dog it. Speeding real fast with a bad bitch in the pasture. Sup, bitch, she playing with her rose, you know what I'm talking about? See, yeah, shout out respectable rants, first off. You know what I'm talking about? Free them, bro. You know what I'm talking about? They innocent until proven guilty. Anybody who is hurt, get well soon. Some crazy shit, man. The pursuit of happiness, trying to get to it. This, that, and the third, or whatever, allegedly. Feel me? Store owner petty, he just had to throw that in there. They gonna drop that gun case for sure. He come out there like he was a vigilante, though. Didn't squeeze. What was he thinking? Now, what if they would have been, hostile about it? You would have been in trouble, bro. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. We on to the next one.
Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho.